Now the marker is pointing the other way. The marker is pointing me back the way I came, but this seems deeper. Does it not? They said go deeper. This feels like the way to go. It could just be one of those things where the marker will correct itself later. But this feels right. Right now, at least.
Submit.
Ooh! Ooh! You're gross looking! Insult to injury. Call a lady gross looking and then kill her.
The unending silence.
Is that everyone here? No, we're good. Alright. I mean, this is quite literally the definition of deeper.
Overheard the priest talking about a cave like this, where that mad elf king made his last stand.
Is that so? You know, Oakland, let's drop down here. Way I see it, if it doesn't kill me, then it's fine. As long as I'm not dying from an invisible boundary or something, then I'm gonna say it's the right-ish way to go. Maybe I'm missing something, maybe I'm going in the wrong order, but I still say that this feels right. And I hear the crying, I hear the screaming, so taking that as a good sign. Oh, just follow the screaming. That'll make everything okay. Ugh, you're a little tanky. Hey, almost. If you could just stop floating away from me. Boom. Squalid commune. Oh, this isn't... I was gonna say this isn't terrifying, but that really just sums up this entire set of quests. Like, everything's just been terrifying lately. Spite. Flame bolt. Don't mind if I do.
There's something in the air.
A shrine of onyx black seems to be sucking the warmth from the surrounding air, almost freezing to the touch. It is comprised of 2 flat slabs beneath deadly apparatus, most likely used for torture. Yet as you inspect further, the slabs appear slightly inclined towards the center, with holes appearing in the main body of the structure, concluding a shallow trench on the flat slab. Feminine symbols are seen on the metal. What was this shrine used for?
Doesn't feel right.
I mean, torture. Also, it seems like some sort of bloodletting would be my best bet. Is this gonna do anything? No. We might have reached the end of what our staff can do. We might have reached the end of our staff being useful. For all I know. As it is, it seems like a little bit of a side area, not even relevant to the quest itself. Wait a second. No, it is because there's a marker in here. So I need to find a way through this gate. Out of curiosity, I did come back into the respite, and the way out is blocked, so you do have to go down, as I did suspect originally. Just decided to reload a save in case of anything.
Hey, don't make this a habit now.
Maybe I don't want to drop down. Maybe I need to explore on the upper parts of this more. I'll be a little bit more thorough this time, I guess. Okay, I wasn't supposed to go down. There's a cave right here that leads into Squalid Commune. I was supposed to go through there and not just, hop on through. Hop on down to the bottom of the well. And, see, and now that opens up. Alright, okay. That's my bad. That's on me. What is in here,
There's
though?
something in the air. Doesn't feel right.
Oh, and now this opened up. Hello? Oh, it's very dark down here.
Under my wing, child,
Oh,
you
oh,
have
oh.
entered the darkest durance of the end of the world, the dominion of tragedy.
Will you heal me? 'Cause I'm
I'm
losing health right now. Will you heal me too?
The history of hate in your land traces its roots here, where the seed planted by the begotten king had fermented and grown, the branches tearing through the earth and penetrating all life above. Witchmen, those misguided souls stolen from my grace, were molded in the shape of this foul king's form. I did not reach them in time, and in turn, another mother had taken my place. Where I had hoped to impart a will to live in them, that mother had brought an antithesis, preying on their fears and animosity, and exaggerating these insecurities to heights unforeseen. And so the same tragedy that plagued the Witchmen finds itself repeating with you and those behind their walls.
Ew.
A schism forms between those who are wanting and those who are rich. Material, beauty, and status, all tenants to the divide. Extremes are tempting in dire times when the status quo has proven to have failed. Yet it is often with these extremes that irrevocable damage occurs. Pull the disenfranchised out of the muddy waters. Meditate and save whatever you can. I am weak, child, but you are strong. You have one thing that I lack. True empathy.
Really?
That a god lacking the same fragility of mortals cannot grasp.
I have empathy? Okay.
Those on the mortal plane who are swallowed by obsession, by trauma or rage, will find themselves a world which mimics that terrible bloodied land you traverse.
Yeah, I have some
and
rage.
Soon to again.
I don't know if I'm the best
To have
example
hope
here.
dim and hate simmer in these times is understandable, expected. To be pessimistic when you look at history as a series of tragedies. However, you run the risk of looking through that wretched lens of despair until your passing. Every moment of good is then ignored. Every small triumph and miracle is trivialized against some other atrocity. You avoid every opportunity, trepid to every chance, fearful of the risks, and so you stay clinging to what you know. This may not apply to you, child, as you still march on with a yearning to halt a disaster rather than letting rampage run its course, as the cynic inside us would do without hesitation. I am burdened with the curse of prescience of tragedy, and I weep. You will talk with a soul who was beholden to ultimate misfortune.
Oh.
I was too late to help him. Feel sympathy for his plight, but do not let his spoiled tongue coerce you to committing evil. I just wish I could have saved him, if only I was stronger. Tell him I am sorry, though I'm afraid any apologies are too late. Keep faith and become that indomitable effigy of hope that I know you are.
Now this goes back to what I was saying earlier, that I was hoping that all this would tie together. It does. It goes back to the Witchmen, obviously. It goes back to the whole Namira plotline. It goes back to them talking about Mara as being one of the chief divines, or one of the chief... well, I guess, yeah, chief divines of High Rock and of the Bretons. Ah, the scuttling void. Is Zulgrin with me? I don't really blame him for not wanting to come here. But here's the thing. That looks a lot like the apparition that Damien was so angry to see. He was like, oh, get rid of it. Mara's telling us, it's like, oh, well, tell him I'm sorry for not saving his soul. Oh. Little effect like that's pretty cool. watching the tendril wrap itself around the body. I don't know if it is going to be Damien that we find here, but suffice it to say, Damien seems a little suspicious. Just a little suspect. Am I... did I go the wrong way? I don't know if I'm supposed to be right here. I'm just following the path as always, which sometimes is not for the best. Oh! Oh no! Come back! Shit. Thank God for autosaves. See, I was just hesitant to stand in a prison cell for too long. I was like, oh, let me see if there's anything in there. No, so I jumped out, but turns out that's where I want to be. Just don't jump out of the prison cell, stay in the prison cell. It's how you started the game, it's probably how you'll end it, frankly. There we go. Magic prison cell, take me away. You know, Alcarin was right not to come back to the scuttling void. I don't blame him. I didn't really have much intention to come back here either. Understand what the creature is about. At last, an audience. Intrepid is your spirit, no harm will befall you here. Invulnerable is the flesh where I so will. Now approach. What are you? Are you the butcher in Evermore? You have found your quarry's past, absconded with another's form in the present. The ego willed itself from vestiges of an identity, leaving its legacy. Leaving me. I am what remains of a desire, a want to forget.
Here we recognize the face of those within the original drama. Love unrequited and the desire to be remembered. Oh, they all scream the same demand. Actualize me! To chaos from stasis, between our story is told. The God of the world revealing the ever still. Here is where we begin. In this perfect absence, two beings live with no knowledge of the other, no knowledge of themselves. Tranquil and definite was this peace, so tempting was its silence. And so it was befallen. The third had came. She appeared, shattering the nothing. Oh, she brought vision. Oh, she brought sound. In a word, she brought a medium. In this sudden immediacy, recognition and the first ones. And so the two inert beings from black awoke to her summoning. The original drama, the first impulse.
I mean, it is a bit dramatic.
Sought her heart,
It is quite the drama.
yet two, then only one. The dilemma, the contradiction. Child of this new conflict, fist-born. Scarcity to ensure
It's a little trippy when you look around is the only thing.
disparity.
Very stuttery when you look around.
churned to this new world in this fresh tumult. Twisting was this new tension. The old stasis was dead. Gone was that peace, never to return. For the media made our choice of the two, and so the unloved sank into confusion. Why had I not been chosen? What was he compared to me? What am I?
Who am I?
Introspection, sentient, and alone. The woe of every murder, all sourced by this bygone ancestor. See thyself. Make clear the distinction between you and that which shares not your will, and you which submits to your wants. Identity.
Okay.
So rapid is this moment, so fragile you were made to feel. Wishing not to be forgotten, it must adapt. However, the loveless is sunken in something alien. Hatred, jealousy, born here and taken at full. The loveless gives way to reprisal. It cannot stay idle with the knowledge that others enjoy. Enjoy what he cannot. Ancestor, were you humble, we would have peace. Were you accepting, we could have unity. You had but submit and waste away, content with your inferiority.
Man, all this because of a woman, huh?
Actions left us with the worst of all delusions. Hope, torture of ambition. So with your ambition, you conspired, plotting the undoing of the newlywed.
This does remind me of Vigilant. It really does. The whole thing with Moloch Ball and Lamai Ball and
They embraced. So
very similar vibes.
feeling all of their love. Down here there was loathing, and with them was joy. That contrast burned deeper still. Where there could have been restraints, were placed with murderous intents. Its wordless ravings were silenced. Against its brow, he stared upon the sacred bird, the world itself. The tyranny of their love broke him to kneel. I am obsessed was I ever stands. Accessed. I am, you sought to forget I. Some like that of my invention. Hatred.
This must have killed the voice actor's throat. Imagine if this took multiple takes, too.
She shall not be at all. The medium subject to his power. Dominion over all true force. Can you see it transient? The coming of dream. Violence unprecedented, searing every shadow with red destruction. It truly begins. The mortal blight, matter annihilating matter, entropy spiraling.
Not to take away from the very serious moment, but the one spot right there, just
Now these
the red spot, the placement of it makes it look like a very high up butthole.
revenge in the hearts of both.
Sorry to ruin it right now. As you watch this very serious moment.
Ultimately, it was not for the first pariah to win. His was a battle of spiteful suicide. The dead lover despairs, broken. Drama is now what it is. Holding closely, the medium cannot return. Canyons, mortality, death, bleeding. His focus beyond the final end of the third pariah. Striking the back, draws up sconce. The dead lover is soon to share in death. So much has transpired. So much. Reality has overwhelmed. Oh, ancestors. If only you could have solved your petty dispute in peace.
Right? All for a woman.
Where it's so easy.
What a doomed fate this is.
So now he dreams. A world inflicted with the dramas he witnessed. Here be echoes, making sense of a nightmare. And so concludes the play.
Kinda sucked.
But hold your applause, save it for what's to come.
Can I get my money back?
For art cannot be appreciated without knowing intent.
Wait, there's more intent than what I just saw right there?
To be discovered in your worlds, not here. Many plays await actors and audience alike. I won't deprive them of you. Lastly, take this. The choice of ideas you wish to nurture. It will soon be yours to make. Take care of it.
Parasitic glutton added. Thanks, I guess. Oh, wait, where am I?
Should have sent a better stock of Bretons to overtake this outpost.
Oh?
I swear that I can recognize some from the exiles we've rounded up.
Our hands are tied, I'm afraid.
They think I'm an exile?
We've got another mess to deal with in Skyrim. The Bretons will have to fend for themselves.
No, Drugo's here, he knows me.
Let's hope they're sensible enough not to have this kingdom descend into barbarism on our departure.
Don't hold your breath. It's a fool's hope. The time for our departure seems to be quite tentative. Do we have any confirmation for our release?
Immediately after this transfer is complete, we'll return to the embassy where we secured the carts, having cleared the base of the arsenal we need, and then make our way for the Divide. To deracinate ourselves after so many years have, despite how stressful it was to experience, feels disheartening.
Speak for yourself. I've yearned for a good night's sleep for a decade now. I just hope Skyrim doesn't harbor the same hostility, the same corruption that fills this realm.
Oh, it's better.
Cross
Oh, it's
fingers.
much nicer.
Hopefully I can talk to command back in Cyrodiil, for our transfer to one of the fringe outposts in the homeland once we're done with Skyrim.
Don't get my hopes up too much. Such hope is akin to sin through this realm, bringing swift punishment.
Pessimism will be the death of you. Yet I understand your
I just want to talk to Drugo.
after having fought to improve a realm that doesn't reciprocate. Come, let's go and hasten this process. Chef back at the embassy is preparing a fine farewell feast from what I hear.
Ooh.
We don't want it to go cold.
Could I join you? Hey, what's happening here?
Huh? What back door did you enter through? Must be a master of stealth as well as battle.
Oh, okay, I thought I got
That's
captured.
what we're talking about. Just making plans for transferring the garrisons over to the Bretons. Disorder in Skyrim calls, and the Empire beckons us to be their vanguard.
You're leaving then, I take it? Are you sure that's a wise idea?
What else can we do here? It seems most are dead set in digging a deeper hole for themselves despite our best efforts. I know this is disheartening, but I have faith that the Reach, without Mortarfane, may fare a great deal better. That is, if someone less tyrannical is appointed by Sigmane, instead of some doppelganger to the most recent lord, which has been a common theme in this land.
I doubt it. Mortifain was a special type of mad.
In fact, I've heard Sigmane's son, Damien, may just be the lord that breaks the cycle. We can only hope. Such a merciful and boisterous leader may bring those sad sods out of their depressive stupor. Word is he's soon to give a speech to the people in Ravenspring. May want to go over there and see what he has to say. You never know. You could drop a word of advice to the prince that may forge a better future in this realm.
What has been happening ever since those murders in Evermore?
Nothing noteworthy. Petty disputes and all the entailing drama. I'm sure you're well versed in the Reach's people, so I won't need to divulge too much. Actually, come to think of it, events seem to be not as dour. Like the kingdom is finally experiencing its boon. I don't want to get my hopes up, but it really does seem different this time. Alas, we won't be here to relish in what may be, as we've already set course for Skyrim.
No new threats from the Witchmen? The orcs?
Again, nothing eventful. Would have told you otherwise. Yet, if you want something to chew on, we've had word from the kingdom of some of their serfs wandering north. Though not enough to cause a serious outcry. Looks like the absolute worst of the toiling masses are vanishing, which the nobility have been elated by. More for the treasury, and less mouths to feed.
Where are they going?
There aren't many civilized spots north of the kingdom, and I'm damn sure an unarmed peasant isn't going to make it 10 yards approaching those witchmen. So we haven't sent anyone up there to find out. Just not worth the hassle, and we're already spent as a garrison. We should have been thrice our number, but the Reach has weathered us down to a trifling band of injured and mad.
Surely we should know if the Witchmen are increasing their numbers again.
We should, but my business has ceased here.
He's like, I know.
We'll need to direct
Not
those
my problem
concerns to the
anymore.
Britons. As you know, the serfs should be their immediate concern. Imagine a kingdom without their serfs. Evermore especially would collapse in an instant.
I feel the threat is far from over.
If you hear any of the downtrodden rambling the same as those witchmen, then that will be a major cause for concern.
I did.
Until then, however, enjoy these somewhat peaceful days we've been graced with.
Who's going to be taking over when you take your leave?
That would be a man named Visa. He has a residence within the capital itself. He's not one to hear out every petty request, so make sure any appointment you have with him is of utmost urgency.
Alright.
Go with grace.
Time to see what's happening in Raven Spring.